Hello my gorgeous viewers, welcome to Pink Zara and my name is Pinky. Today's episode is very sensitive in nature and I am making this video in view of a lot of events that I see on Facebook. In my part of the world, if a child goes missing, heaven forbid, there's an amber alert that is created. We all get messages, we all get, my friends on Facebook share a lot of posts, oh this child is missing in this area, so on and so forth. I don't have kids, but I can't even begin to imagine the loss, the pain a parent goes through if their child is missing in an unfortunate event. And I know as a kid, I was lost for about an hour, and that was because I was being stupid and I wandered around. And I was born in India, I was born in Bombay, and my family went to Juhu Beach on a Sunday evening, and I just wandered around. I followed the bubbles, and somehow when I made my way back, because I remember where we were situated, I saw my mother crying, and I mean, I was only, I think I was 7, but I cannot imagine any other mother going through that, and that always stayed with me. I have a niece, so I know what it is like to have a child in your family who's very close to you. I have actually made some pointers, things that come into my head, and I want you all to know for your own safety and security. And by all means, just I hope, I mean, out of the few I have, even if one helps you, I'll count myself as lucky to be of any assistance. So I'm going to focus, so please forgive me. It's number 1, photographs and documents are so important. What every parent should do is make yourself an email account, create one, and nobody except one person who you trust more than your own life has access to that email, where all your documents are safe, where all your photographs are safe, like your passport, your tax documents, you know, so many sensitive information. No one else needs to know, and I understand that nothing's really secure anymore, but at least you have that sanity. If you lost a physical document, you have something to produce at the time of an emergency. Secondly, I think when you go out, when you are in, especially if you're going out of state, out of the country, or if you're just going out shopping, when you leave, just before, while you're at the doorstep, no matter how many kids you have, take a photograph of your kids, so you know in an unfortunate event you have the most recent photo of your child. You know what they're wearing. If at the time your brain doesn't work, you know, it's normal. Can you imagine the dismay a mother or a father goes through? But you are able to at least present a photograph of your child to give accurate description. That's something very useful. Now here's the thing. Kids can be a handful, okay? But this is something I have observed. I have worked in retail, I've worked in healthcare, and I've seen kids tend to run around here and there a lot. I'm not saying stop that, but as a parent, it is up to you. It is your responsibility to have your kid in order. I have worked in retail, and I can tell you, kids run and they create a havoc. And sometimes parents just don't know what to do. It's very unfortunate. So, you know, a polite nudge, hey, it's okay, we understand, especially if the parent is trying to make an effort to keep their kid quiet, or at least be disciplined or behave for the time being. But here's what I want to tell you. When you're at a superstore, department store, please make sure your kid is with you at all times, because in an unfortunate event, let's say a cabinet falls or a big product falls on your kid, it's not the responsibility of the store, of the company. While I see how parents can get emotional and blame the company, but sometimes it's not. It is your responsibility to make sure your kid is with you all the time, okay? And this is discipline, not in a negative way. This is education that and this is for the safety of your own kid. The last thing you want is your kid to be hurt in a store, and your day takes a different turn. Now, another point I do want to put across that is always make sure your kids know how to keep a secret, okay? And by that I mean your PIN number. It's important for the kids to know your telephone number, but not your PIN number. I remember working in retail one time, a kid was screaming his mother's PIN number, like, we wish each other Merry Christmas or Happy Diwali. Okay, oh hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to enter the PIN number. No, that is so risky. for any reason, if you have someone who's behind you who's probably a lunatic and a thief and decides to have a little laugh and fun at your expense, your money, that's not going to go down well. Always make sure that your kids do not scream your PIN number out loud. And I don't think it's okay for a 6-year-old to actually enter the PIN number while they're at a store. Okay, and coming back to the telephone number, make sure your kids know the telephone number of you or your husband or your wife or whatever as an emergency contact. In an emergency, they know who to call, or at least how to make a telephone call. That's very crucial. And now, on a very lighter note, always make sure that you have a charger in your car, in your bag. I have a charger in my bag. Keep sure you have at least 500 or 1,000 rupees or $20 to $25 in your bag, in your purse all the time, because you never know when emergency strikes. Okay, and at the time, especially if you have a kid, and that's just unimaginable, because at the time you need to have some sort of security, at least to make a call. That is very crucial. The whole 100, 911, 999, here I am, come and get me. Always make sure your phone is charged. And one other thing, I do want to tell you that if you have kids, please try to use Ziploc bags. So when if there's an event, sometimes I've seen, kids play and they fall and they've hurt themselves and there's blood everywhere and the mother's trying to find her first aid kit. This has happened. It's a real life incident. I'm not making this up. Make sure you have a Ziploc bag so you can see everything. Even that extra, the fraction of a second is very crucial in an emergency. So these are some thoughts that I created and I would do if I had a kid. When an emergency strikes, please know that you never blame yourself, because you can't think proactively. Things happen, and this is why you step back and make these preempted decisions and some life, techniques or hacks, however you'd like to place it, for the safety and security of you, of your child, and for your family. But I think it's very important, coming back to one of my previous suggestions, always take a photograph of your kid before you leave the house. It is just so crucial, just so you know what the kid was wearing. The police is able to identify, or at least you're able to describe the kid through your photograph. I hope you guys never, all the parents, I hope you never go through this unfortunate event. This experience is horrendous. It's not, nobody should ever go through it. But if it did, you took some steps to help yourself and your kid. I'm going to sign off. You guys be safe. Please take care. Don't drink and drive. Very important. I feel very strongly about this. Do not drink and drive, and try to be kind to each other. On that happy note, I'm going to sign off. You take care and have a good week to yourselves. Bye.